your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell at before you blow up a plane.
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what good thing to say? I doubt people stand up to something. I haven't been disrespectful to you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when Ash takes off his shirt. I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Chrissie Mayr live stream. Hello chat. I'm mixing up my format a little bit. I'm going into more subject-based live streams instead of sometimes just a hodgepodge. But a certain topic caught my eye today, so I was like, I simply must go live and talk about this. And that is, of course, the manosphere, or do we call it the red pill? Do we call it the incel community? I don't know. It could just be straight up bad advice, and there's no group associated. But before I do, I have to let you guys know that I'm doing a couple of shows in the near future before they will say to me, look, Praggers, you have to stop getting on planes. And that date is fast approaching. It's actually sooner than I thought. So come see me next week. Gosh, like 1 week from today, I will be in Dallas, Texas. I'll be headlining at Hyenas in Dallas next Thursday, January 25th. I am so pumped for this show. I love this club. It's one of my absolute favorite clubs. I love Texas. It's going to be my last little yeehaw moment before giving birth. I can't believe it. So come out and see us next Thursday. I will be joined by my hilarious, gorgeous, and talented very best friends, Keanu Thompson and Lila Hart. You can see them as well. And hopefully a guest spot by a Mr. Alex Stein if he's not too busy. And then come see me headline in Morris Plains, New Jersey next month, Saturday, February 24th at Tiff's Ale House, also known as the Dojo of Comedy. That's going to be a Saturday night show in Jersey. Keanu Thompson will be featuring for me. And I think Mr. Andrew Harms from The Wet Spot, my dear announcer from The Wet Spot on Compound Media, will also be gracing the stage with his presence. So get your tickets now off my website, ChrissieMayr.com. Please and thank you. Awesome. Are my settings off? Okay, I think everything's okay. Do we need something tweaked? Are we tweaking? We're zooming. Look at this. I don't have to zoom in with my hands anymore. This is amazing. We did a little bit of a camera. There you can straight up see the scratches on my boobs from waffles. That's so funny. She just was down here and she was like, hi, 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 hi. And she was just scratching at my boobs. So that's what those are. Have you sent the link out to me? I have. I have sent the link to a few friends. I sent Ms. Tugs the link. Yeah, but anyone who you think would like to jump in, filing cabinet, I trust you. I trust your judgment. We extreme close up. What's up, Fealty? Fealty has been just working so hard. He hasn't come up for air. I haven't seen him in weeks. Yeah, I'm about to. Waffles me too'd me. She could have scratched anywhere, but she picked it right here. Remember those little tattoos that Eve had? She probably still has them. Yes. This is so interesting. I've always been fascinated with relationship advice with I remember I used to take my sister to this guy named Matthew Hussey at Hunter College, and we would listen to his talks, and God, I've read so many books. I've read, like, He's Just Not That Into You. I've read, well, Skinny Bitch is actually just about diet. That's more just about stop eating, like, sugar and garbage and drinking like a dumb fatty. But I've just, like I've had just years of my life where all I consumed were relationship and advice books. So, I'm always kind of enthralled by the topic. I think the psychology of it is so interesting to me, but I feel like there's just so much bad advice out there for men and women. And I came across this thread today. I'm going to talk about it with you guys because I want to see your take. This was the tweet I saw. It was from a handle on Twitter called Dark Psychology Dating Master, at Dark Psych for Men. Decent following. The bio says master attraction, charm, female psychology, seduction. And they do have a little bit of an online presence, a little bit of a YouTube presence. And by little, I mean one video. So you go to their YouTube. This is the Dark Psychology for Men page. 2 videos. I don't know where the second video is. I've looked everywhere. But this is their first video. It's about not being desperate. Okay, I don't even think this is terrible advice. Imagine if a woman was obsessed with you, always calling you, always available, always spending her free time with you. Any interest you had for this woman would soon evaporate. I mean, that kind of depends, but sure, I would say that even this is sort of fair advice. My problem is not with their YouTube presence. It's with this one particular thread here. And I even found a different thread of theirs that I didn't think was so terrible, but I found this one in particular to be like, why are we telling people this? Destroy her ego. How dare you look good in a cocktail dress? First of all, how do you even know this girl has an ego? Are these people under the assumption that every woman or every pretty woman has just a huge ego that must be destroyed, that must be overtaken, that you gotta, like, grind someone down to a nub? Is that really the response to is that how well, we can't undo feminism. It's been decades and decades. It's seeped into academia. It's seeped into pop culture. It's really everywhere. There's no undoing feminism. I think we just have to boost up men generally and encourage healthy relationships and not make women so gosh darn afraid of marriage and having families and stuff like that. You're not going to undo feminism, okay? So if you think feminism has given women too big of an ego, you're mistaken. And where are all these women with egos? I don't know. Maybe the chat can tell me. I'm going to get into it. Okay. Are we ready? Rule number 1. Do not compliment her looks. No, we hate that. Do not compliment her looks. Leave her to wonder why everyone sees her as a big deal and you don't. Don't be the regular guy who goes around simping. Oh, there's that word again. Only compliment her when she does something and she does it right. I already have such a problem with this. First of all, everyone likes to be complimented on their looks, whether they're male, female, they, she-male, in between. I just don't like this idea that if you think somebody is already quite good looking, you assume that their that their inbox is full of compliments. It might be, but they might not. Those compliments don't mean anything. You think like, sure, if you open up my DMs, it's like, oh, show me Bob's and vagine. Okay, that's a compliment, I guess, on my looks, but it's meaningless because Habib doesn't speak English, and I don't even think his real name. So I want to dispel this idea that you can't tell pretty girls that they're pretty. It's like everybody. I would say maybe pretty girls need to hear it more because a lot of pretty girls don't think they're pretty. Um, We all have our shit. And if a woman is really interested in you and she puts in the effort to, like, look great and do her hair and buy a nice dress and have her boobs out and you don't mention her looks, she's gonna be like, "What are you, gay? Is this all this for nothing? Do you not care? Am I not your type? Am I not, like, whatever enough? Would you prefer someone who's racially different, physically different?" It'll leave you going like, "Oh, I guess I'm just not your type." This shit makes me so mad. And if you never compliment a woman's looks, well, then, yeah, the weirdos in the DMs start to look a little bit better because you're like, "Oh, at least Habib sees me. Habib noticed I got a new sweater." Leave her to wonder why everyone sees her as a big deal. That you can't assume that women think this way, that any good-looking woman, goes through life and everyone sees her as a big deal. Like, this just is simply not true. Just because you compliment a woman does not mean you're simping. I think we love the word simp. That's why we have a show called Simpcast every Sunday here on this channel, 9 p.m. Eastern. A simp, I think, has to do more with, like, unrequited feelings, unreciprocated advances, and like, being a degree of being sort of tone deaf. I'm old school. Like, when I was single, I would like when a guy would make the first move because I never know if a guy really likes me or not. I have so many jokes on this subject. I don't think that means you're simping. I think that means you're taking initiative. But yeah, of course, read the room, get a sense of, like, am I being complimented in kind? Is this person responding positively to my compliments? I don't think that I really hate this whole, like, don't compliment a woman's looks or else you're a simp or else you're a beta. Only compliment her when she does something and she does it right. What is this, your dog? Who's a good girl? Who went outside? You beat outside. Good for you. Women want compliments for their looks in addition to their deeds, in addition to their accomplishments. Because we're just like, I think, men in that way. Everyone likes a compliment on their looks. All right. Especially when you, like, put a little bit of effort in. I already have such a problem with this. Should we go into the comments? Are people going to be like, are people agreeing with this one? No, we'll go through the whole thread. Number 2, do not seek her validation. Seeking approval from a woman is the number one way to inflate her ego to the moon. Leave craving for approval to women. All human beings need validation. Yes, I know it's not really seen as, there are kind of, I don't know, manlier ways to seek validation. But it's up to women generally to know that men need that validation. They shouldn't necessarily have to ask for it, nor should women. I think it's just part of uh understanding the human race. Like, both men and women seek validation in different ways. Men very much like to be praised for their deeds, their ideas. Where, like, similar to women too, but, like, women probably are more inclined to enjoy compliments about their none of this is new. I don't think you should, like, men or women should seek approval from anyone, but it's nice to know that you're being sort of acknowledged as a person. You don't wanna be okay, I think this could be reworded a little desperately. You don't wanna seem desperate. You don't wanna seem not like you're not comfortable in your own skin, like you can't listen to your own intuition. You don't wanna seem like you're codependent, like you can't make your own decisions, like you can't, um, like, fucking, buy a shirt without someone's approval, like you can't, go grocery shopping without, like, you don't wanna do so many check-ins. A woman needs to know that you're self-sufficient for sure. Same thing with men too. You should really complete yourself first and then a partner would come in and just sort of like help build that team. But you really should be a complete person on your own. So I agree with this in a sense, but I think they should change the wording from seeking approval to like don't let it be known that you're like, don't be desperate. Be kind of complete. And we all have insecure moments in relationships, whether you're brand new or you've been in it for years. It's your job to make your partner feel secure. You know, you go through phases, in and out of shape, in and out of depressions, in a sense, approval, validation, personal, like emotional security is not a bad thing. And this is especially true in the beginning of the dating time. You want to know someone's interest because men and women, sometimes they fill up their dance cards. They're having multiple dates a week. They want to know if you're serious or not so they can move on. And if you're just being coy, like, well, I don't want to make it seem like I'm too interested. Well, they might cross you off the list, buddy. Number 3, never ask for commitment. This is a pull away move, and it is mental. That's how it works. Know how to act in speech, over the phone, or face to face. Don't let your actions speak volume of what you want with her. What? Never ask for commitment. I disagree with this. Every time I have been in a relationship, I have waited on the guy to be the person to ask me to be their girlfriend or to be exclusive because I never wanted to come off needy or pushy or asky. I think, haven't we women been told our whole life, like, don't be a nag, don't do ultimatums, you can't make somebody want to be exclusive with you. So if the guy's not asking for commitment and the girl's not asking for commitment, it's just a Mexican standoff. It's just, well, I guess I'll just see you at coffee. We'll just have coffee with each other forever till we die. And it'll never upgrade from there. No, I think most women want a guy to lead in the situation, and a guy should be the one to ask for exclusivity. It's tricky. Neither person wants to be rejected. Neither person wants to be the one that asks for the person to be the boyfriend, girlfriend, go steady, get serious, and the other one says, actually, no. Someone's got to do it. I don't know. I think it's got to be the guy. It's a pull away move. Know how to act in speech, over the phone, or face to face. Don't let your actions speak volumes of what you want with her. What the fuck? No, this is wrong. Your actions actually... Isn't there a catchphrase? Your actions speak louder than words. Like if a crazed lunatic is about to cross your path on the sidewalk, and the guy sort of like gets in front of you a little bit, or kind of like starts, you know what I mean, like motioning you away from the lunatic. That's an action that speaks volumes that you care about protecting this person, that you're looking out for them, that you're keeping your head on a swivel. I think actions are very important. This is bad advice. I'm going to go to the chat. Let's see, you guys. What do you guys have to say? Are you agreeing with any of this? Am I just being too picky with these things? She's not yours. It's just your turn. No, this is bad advice. Don't. The real hero of The Office isn't Jim. Jim is the simp. It was Dwight. Killed her cat and still got her. What's up, push-ups? Manosphere is so gay. Fealty has tons to say on this. Yes, actions speak louder than words. Thank you, Spectral. NK, I am talking about this thread of dark. It's called Dark Psychology. Breaking down how to break down a woman's ego. It's a thread of advice. On the other hand, a man could be mature, have 1,000 useful skills, is patient, kind, assertive, and considerate, but if he's got no money, it's a deal breaker. Well, yeah, if you're like unemployed, well, you know what? Whatever. I had an unemployment stint while Frank and I were together. I've gone through periods of broke and not broke, just like I think everyone does. Um, I would say it's more important if you have no goals, no direction, you're not applying to jobs, you don't have a fucking plan. That is everyone, I mean, people go through times where they're broke. They lose a lot of money in crypto or they fucking, I don't know, lose their job in a pandemic, for example. But I think a lot of this advice is just generalizations, and you really have to take people one-on-one. Push-ups. A girl can tell if a guy likes her from a mile away. Yes and no. Yes and no. There have been times where I didn't really know. It really depends on your job and in your industry. Because I think as a comedian, as someone who does podcasting, it's like we're talking to people all the time. You have to be nice to people all the time, cordial. But yeah, if you're getting flirty messages, that's like that's a pretty clear indication. But if you're just nice, that a girl might not be able to tell. Little sausage is terrible at knowing. If it can't stop staring, that's a giveaway. Or he's drunk, like you were the other night. Push-ups at Wet Spot. I lost it all when Costco hot dogs went from $1 to $1.25. See, it happens to everybody. I know breaking down it is a horrible thing to suggest. Yes, I agree 1,000% with this, Kamikaze. I think some of it is a total overcorrection in response to modern feminism, and you're not gonna undo feminism. It's too ingrained. Just like you're not gonna undo fucking recycling, okay? The bins have been made. Actions speak louder than words. Don't listen to this, people. Okay. Prioritize your goals above her. You must miss out on a date with her occasionally. This will show her that she cannot distract you from your goals. This will bring her ego down and she will inherently respect. Where are all these women with huge egos? Where are they? Nobody I'm friends with or work with has like an out of control ego. I don't know. Maybe these women all just like live on TikTok. I just don't see very many of them walking around in the real world. Okay, prioritize your goals above her. I would say that this part is partially true. Same for men and women. You don't want to throw this is something that I used to do in relationships. It's called like you lose yourself in a relationship. You completely forget about what you want to do with your life, your likes, your dislikes. It's something that feel like sometimes women are more prone to doing, but men do this too. It's like you kind of put uh your own stuff to the side because you're like, I just really want to impress this person. I'm prioritizing them. You kind of make yourself too easy to get along with. You're like, oh, I'll eat anywhere. Oh, I'll do anything. Oh, and like I have to watch. Like I do even I still fall into this myself because I sometimes just feel like, I'll just be easy and say I'll go anywhere. I'll eat anywhere. But really you're like, I would want Chinese or I would like Mexican. I would like Indian. So don't lose yourself in a relationship. Do not completely if you're working on going back to school, if you're working on getting a degree, if you're working on like getting a different job, you definitely don't want to table that just to pursue a relationship. No. That's way more important. You don't want to toss away like family obligations. You got to fit it all in. And I think your goals show this woman that you're trying to date, like your values in life, and she can go, oh, cool, I'm down with that. You must miss out on a date with her occasionally. I don't agree with this. I think just plan better. Don't fill your dance card up too much. Don't overbook. Miss a date. What does that mean? You're canceling last minute. You're canceling the night before. That would piss me off. Don't waste my time. This will show her that she cannot distract you. You cannot distract me from my goals. This will bring her ego. No, you got to fit somebody in. You know, get it in when you can. Like when I was first dating Frank, I would have him meet me. He would meet me at a lot of different like comedy shows in the city. Like I'd work. We both would work full time, and then meet up in the city at a show or meet up on the weekend, like when we had the weekends free. It's like I don't think you don't show yourself to be like a high value person by skipping a date. I would say just don't overbook yourself. Because you want to see the person off enough that they go, oh, wow, you're really interested. Cool. Why the emphasis on bringing the woman's ego down? Because if you want to date somebody who feels good about yourself, just like the better you feel about yourself, the better person you bring to a relationship. You don't want to bring somebody's confidence down. You want to bring each other up. You want to be each other's cheerleaders. Well, definitely in the long term. Oh my God, all my fucking friends are here and I've just been ignoring them. My God, look at this. I don't even know how to bring them in. I'm so disoriented.
Hi, darling. Hi.
Gosh. Hi, Nina. Hi, Kiki.
Hi,
long
how
have
are
you been
you
sitting
ladies?
there? Have you been sitting there forever?
No,
I just showed
just
up.
a second. Just a
Okay.
second. I can't stay long, but I had to. I had to just come and say hello here.
Should I start this from the beginning? I really want your guys' take on
I was listening, but started from the beginning again.
Okay.
Sure.
First of all, this is a handle called Dark Psych for Men. Dark Psychology. I don't know. Would you call this manosphere? Would you call it red pill? Would you call it incel? I don't know what to call it. I would
All
just
of
call
the
it bad
I would
bad
say
advice
yes,
for men.
yes. All of the above. Yes.
It starts with destroy her ego. And I'm like, where are all these women who have out of control egos? I would say most
Name
of us
one.
models.
Unless Giselle Bundchen, I'm sure she even is like, I'm terrible. Like there is not one.
The Insta models, maybe? I don't know.
No,
Who is this? Who is the person we're talking about? Is it somebody famous?
this woman in the photo. No, I think this is just their general advice because you have to break a woman down to make them want to be with you. That's part of courtship now is breaking someone down.
They already
Like a glow stick.
destroy our egos with their general awfulness. All right? It's destroyed. Don't look at our social media and say we have an ego. If we want to post a picture that looks pretty of ourselves, it doesn't mean we have a big ego. That's all.
So
destroy it.
Rule number
Destroy
one,
it
he's saying do not compliment a woman's looks. Let's say you're dealing with like I imagine this is advice for someone who's trying to date what they maybe think is a woman out of their league. I don't know who this is for. So a woman that's pretty needs to be, taken down a peg, but don't compliment her looks. Leave her to wonder why everyone else sees her as a big deal and you don't. And that compliments equal simping. Only compliment her when she does something and does it right. So you're only focusing it on achievement based, which is actually like a very male thing. I think
if she makes you a sandwich and it's good, like that's a good sandwich.
Right.
Make me another one.
Or parallel parks in a timely fashion.
This is ridiculous. This is stupid. I don't know. I don't like it.
Have either of you ever been out with somebody who you felt like was trying to like nag you or play games or Nina,
just when I walk on the street, every man I ever encounter, it's just always a labyrinth of negging and playing games. No,
but my husband me all the time, Chrissy. Like he nags me all the time, and then I'll get annoyed, and then I'll be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'll start like getting annoyed, and then he'll be like, "Oh, did it work?" Like, I'm just, I'm just doing it to annoy you. Did it work?
Ned Braden says, "This is male sprinkle sprinkle." Are you familiar with this woman who I really should do? Brittany's done a video on her. She's like this sassy Black woman who gives dating advice, and she's like, "What do I bring to the table? Nothing. Sprinkle sprinkle." Like she prides herself on like not cooking, not cleaning, like just sheerly existing is enough. And she's very fun. She's very entertaining to listen to.
She sounds fun.
I'll have to recap something she's done. But Keanu recently on a vacation encountered a man who could not handle that he wasn't, just completely enthralled by him and spending all her time talking
No,
to
and it
him.
was
And
the most bizarre situation because it was one of my mom's friends who she meets in the Dominican Republic. She goes for weeks at a time, whatever. They were Canadian, but like he just couldn't stand that I just wasn't like
Interested?
I was staring at my phone too much apparently, and
but he
was just
confused
not
you actually
yeah.
making content and doing something for like work, career,
Yeah.
livelihood, confusing that with you just being like a dumb TikToking bitch or something like that. And it's
Well,
like, had he asked, you probably would have explained to him.
Well, and my mom
were
tried to even, but also he was like, I mean, not to age shame. My betrothed is 55 years old, but he was like 58 years old. I'm just the kid here. Why
Wait,
do you
I'm a little
need-
confused,
Yeah.
Kiana. Was this
Sorry.
individual like interested in you, like wanted to date you, or
I
did he
think
did
the
he know
fact
you're
that I
betrothed?
I think the fact that I didn't give him the time of day because I was sort of like working on things on my phone, or like maybe I didn't come and like hang out with them the entire time. And when I first met him, he was like sort of, I could tell he was like his dick was hard, basically. All right. I mean, to put it in layman's terms. And because I was like on the
Okay.
phone with Visconti, my betrothed, or the fact that I was looking at my phone, making content or doing whatever, and I talked to him enough. So then basically he shit talked me so badly he called me a cell phone with arms and legs. And I was
Oh,
so
boy.
disrespectful. And I'm like, you're 1,000 years older than me. And I don't care about what you have to say. And when I walk away from a group of people, don't follow me. And I'm like, if I'm smoking,
That sounds awkward.
it was weird. Yeah, it was bizarre. But yeah,
So-
right. Just negging bizarreness,
Hmm.
This is this woman. I don't know if this is a good example of her work, but it's why women should not be nice to men. Oh, can we not hear this? Oh dear.
Oh,
I don't understand.
yeah.
I don't understand the women of today. Y'all are too nice. I mean, if you don't look like Quasimodo, if you ain't the ugliest thing walking, you don't have to be nice as a woman. Okay, you don't have to be super nice. You don't have to be some
my gosh.
kind, nurturing being to someone that's not going to treat you the exact same. Okay, and some of y'all are walking around here doing the most, being super nice, getting manipulated by these guys.
Okay,
and all
this
this
is
kind of
actually
stuff,
like not
because y'all are
the best example. I just literally put sprinkle sprinkle into YouTube. She's all about just like, yeah, leave men alone who don't chase. He only chases women who love themselves. I'm as faithful as you are. All men cheat, baby. Sprinkle, sprinkle.
It's just a matter of time when they do.
It's just a matter of time.
And
They
this should-
do.
on the-
She's like a
So
little
I'm the
black
one who has
pilled.
the most money.
I don't believe
Has the
that
most
at all.
money.
just a
She's
matter
like-
of time until they do.
She is a little bit encouraging of gold digging, or very much.
It's like all the
funny.
men that say like, women only want men with money, or like men that say like women only are just like that. They only care about this kind of thing. It's not like that. We're not all like that. Just like not all men are like
It's
that. Not all
we're
men
all
cheat.
shades of gray. You got to find the person that compliments you. Not
Mhm.
like in a you look pretty, but in like, how you feel about yourself, like the puzzle piece, or be alone forever. That's fine as well.
Well,
you know?
the interesting part is that most of these people, and like I'm talking both male and female, like it all comes from hurt. Like, I mean, most of these people I think have
Yes.
been hurt at some point in their life, and then they're like, I like over and over, even like several times, maybe in a row, and then they've been like, well, there's obviously like no other way than just be hurt all the time. And so they
Well,
become like
they're
that.
jaded, right?
Yeah.
Because they keep like bashing their heads into the wall, going like, "Well, why doesn't this work out? Like on
Mhm.
paper, this seems fine." When
But
I don't
most
know.
of the time, people like I think that a lot of times because you don't self-reflect a lot of times, both in both instances, male and female, you repeat patterns. So you have a
Yes.
pattern and then you repeat it. Like, you're like, I have a set standard for like the men I like or whatever. I'm talking as a woman. And I have a set standard for this, this, and this. And I'm not going to date this, this, and this. And then you just do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, where that's really your problem and your own
Yeah,
pattern
that's
that you should
the
be questioning.
definition of insanity, actually. Doing the same
Exactly.
thing over and over and expecting
You
a
have to be
different result.
careful, and I've done this, like, when I first started dating when I first started dating Frank, I would get, like, triggered by shit, like, in a sense, I was blaming him for, like, wounds I had from my past relationship, like,
Mhm.
I would, like, accuse him of stuff that, like, he wasn't doing just because it was, like, something the ex had done, and I hadn't,
Mhm.
like, you need to have real self-awareness, and if a fucking douchebag breaks your heart, like, you can't in a sense, you're letting them win if you let them take your, we all need to be, like, soft and vulnerable, that's how we let people in, that's how you, like, love, and then you become stronger, but if that person hardens you and makes you cynical and black-pilled, like, that person's actually won because they've had the power then to change who you are
Mhm.
and the future of who you're able to, like, attract or be with. So, uh
And a lot of it too comes down to communication, I think. Like, for example, like me and my husband, like when we started dating, I remember like this is years ago, like we would get into fights and then he'd be like, he would say something like, then I guess we're just not gonna make it. I guess we're just not gonna like last and we're just not meant to be, or like something like that because of the fight. Like we're just having a fight. And then I would reflect on that or the fight or whatever. And then later on we would talk about it. And I'd be like, well, like whenever you say stuff like that to me, that makes me feel insecure. Like we're not gonna last. Like every time like something bad happens, you're threatening to like leave the relationship. That makes me feel insecure. And that makes me feel like I can never do something wrong because then you'll leave me. And so then he was like, "Oh," like, and he would be like, "Okay, well, that's something that I should not do anymore." And like, we would work on these things together because nobody's perfect. Like you have to talk to each other. You have to like figure out who's hurting who and why there's hurt, because even in your own very healthy relationships, you're going to get into fights, you're going to get into arguments, you're going to get into like, you know, conversations where you need to expand on what it means to be yourself. Because I heard you, Chrissy, what you were talking about earlier, where you were like, you lose yourself when you get into a relationship. A lot of like, especially women, that happens to, I think, especially women that are younger that get into relationships with older men. Kiki, watch out, because I know that you're much younger than Gino. So you just like start losing yourself because you think like, oh, I have to do all these things to impress him, or I don't, you don't have enough self-confidence. So you just become like him. You're
You
like,
treat
okay,
it
I'm
like a
gonna
new
copy him.
job. Like,
Mhm.
every job I've ever had, I, like, slowly but surely give up my lunch hour entirely. I end up working late no matter what. I end up it's like
Mhm.
stupidly going out of my way, doing personal, favors and, like, things that are not in my job description because I'm in this, like, gotta impress the boss
Mhm.
mode, and I've definitely been that way in the past in new relationships because 'cause you're just like,
Mhm.
"Ugh, I gotta put away my real personality and just be, like, on good behavior."
Mhm.
And
He
then
might not like if I wear this.
yeah.
He might not like if I wear my makeup like this. He might not like if I do this. He might like that if I do this. What if I watch this TV show and he judges me for it? Like, no, there's certain things that you have to do, and it's you. It's who you are. And if that they don't like that, then they don't like that.
Mhm.
Right.
Cecil, he's a cradle robber, though. Nobody should listen to him.
Girls that go for
Right.
older guys are real weirdos. Aw. It seems like Keanu, like you and Gino, just you always were. I mean, this is why you guys are getting married. Like you always, it seemed like were real with each other, and it didn't seem like there was a lot of game playing. Like you'd be like in the beginning, like maybe on again, off again, but it never seemed like he was like
Well,
fucking with you or
no, there was never any sort of we knew what it was when we were like just like hooking up like slam pieces on the side. Like he was like my side chick for a while. Like
Aw.
I mean, uh but then we looked at each other. He took me on a date and I was like, what's this? We both ended up single. And I went, he was like, I don't know how to ask somebody to even be my girlfriend. I was like, he took me out to dinner. I was like, what is this? And then I said, you just asked me, will you be my girlfriend? And I said, yes. And then I said to him, I was
Oh.
like, why have we always just dated these assholes? And when we've always just liked each other, why don't we just stop dating assholes and be with each other? And we
Aw,
really have no issues. I mean,
aw.
the one thing he will sometimes be like, we rarely fight. If we're fighting, it's never about each other. It's about like something on the outside like coming in. But he's like, or if you're upset about something, like don't compare me to that other asshole you were with, or it's never like that though. It doesn't. He just gets me, and we've clicked from the moment we met. So we wasted so much time with these people that we were not
Aw,
we weren't
they weren't as good.
compatible with.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was like maybe when you're young too, you kind of like the up and down and like the roller coaster of it. But him, it's
Mhm.
just like
Well,
smooth sailing. I don't
and
know.
that's Kiana. I think that goes to like what I wanted to expand upon because of what you're saying and what you were saying, Chrissy, earlier, because a lot of especially newer couples and especially like I feel like a lot of the younger people like do the games. Like they play games all the time. They don't actually, kind of like what this woman was saying, like, you don't have to be nice all the time. Like it's like they played games. Like women, I feel like they don't say what they mean. They're always fishing for what they think the guy is talking about. It's like just say what you mean or just say what you want. And instead of playing these games of trying to fish about trying to figure out his feelings or what he's thinking or whatever, just ask him, like, what are you thinking right now? Penny
It's
for your thoughts. Like,
I
what's going on up there?
I think that's because we're like indoctrinated. I think women are indoctrinated to like try and
People please.
well,
Yeah.
we have to find a mate, or like am I a loser if I'm single or something like that? I never felt like that. I could spend the rest of my life alone. It wouldn't bother me in the slightest. But I you you have to just find the person that you actually aren't going to play games with and enjoy being with and can be yourself around, not like
Exactly.
weld yourself to, well, oh, my boyfriend loves the Rolling Stones, so I'm going to wear this t-shirt. No, Gino likes Casey Musgraves. Like he has no interest in the Rolling Stones whatsoever. We would never. You have to be yourself around the person, but
Mhm. I mean, I think like one of the things that was so different about me was like that I spoke my mind. Like I was always like that. And my husband was like, man, you're so different than every other girl. Cause I would just like, I was always like that. I was one of the girls that I was one of the guys, girls or whatever. Cause I didn't hang out. I didn't have a lot of female friends because of that very reason, because most girls were into the games and into like, oh, they can't really figure there has to be an air of mystery. Like, and even my mom used to tell me that, like, you have to leave this air of mystery and get them to figure it out because it's a
Leave
game.
them wanting more.
Leave
Yes.
them wanting more. And I was always like, no, that doesn't sound right because it's like mind games, and it makes it like, why can't we just be human to each other? Like we're just regular people, like talking and wanting to actually have a conversation instead of trying to figure out what the other person says. I hate mind games. So I started doing the
Mhm.
opposite. I started actually being honest about my feelings and just being who I am and like not giving a shit. And he liked it. So
Yeah.
it's just we went with it.
Push-up says, I don't think Kiki has to work hard to impress Gino. Oh,
Well, not now, but I always
yeah.
did say, I'm like, why don't you? I would always think to myself, I'm like, why doesn't he like want to be my boyfriend? It's
Oh,
weird.
maybe he just
Yeah.
assumed that you didn't want to
Well, I
be.
was with other people. That would be probably why.
Maybe that's part of it.
Because I had other boyfriends and we would cheat. But that would probably be why. But I would think like I honestly knew from the moment I met him. I'm like, he was always in the back of my mind. And I
Aw.
wrote him a note like on I don't know when. I think I wrote him a note on his birthday or whatever, like when we first got together. And I was like, even when it wasn't you, it was always you. Because
Aw,
I know I'm such a sap. It's so
that's so
gay.
That is
cute.
really
I know.
cute.
But it's just always been him. We get along. I'm not gonna say we don't fight, but it's I'm more comfortable around him if I'm like depressed, laying in the bed, and he still loves me as much as when I'm like vibrant and normal. He has no issue with me in my personality whatsoever. So
I think this is a good comment from Incubus. Men cannot reveal their secret pain to their women. They don't like weak men, and they will use that vulnerability against them. I would say don't reveal this on like date one, like in the beginning.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at somebody as like a ride or die, you have to reveal your secret pain to them because
Mhm.
that's the person that's going to help lift you out of it.
Exactly.
And the right
right,
person is
date
not going to use
one,
that
don't
against
be
you
like,
because we all
well,
have a pain.
yeah.
We all have vulnerabilities.
The person that you're talking about, if that's like your girlfriend that you've been with for like let's say a year or longer, if you feel like you can't be vulnerable with that person, then there is no future. Like that because you
You can't
have
keep
to
up
be
hiding that for
vulnerable.
long.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. That's life. Like that because life
And
is
pain doesn't equal weakness. Everyone's got a
no.
past, everyone's got
Mhm.
issues, everyone's got people who fucked them over,
And I find
family
like
issues.
I find men that like are like, "Ugh." Okay, it's like it's very like Brokeback Mountain, Ines Del Mar and
Gay.
Brokeback
Oh.
Mountain.
Gay? Very gay.
Okay, well, just that like I have no pain. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Mhm.
But look what he was covering up. I'm a gay
Mm.
man. He held
Mhm.
every single thing in. I'm not saying all men are gay, but
No.
you don't have to
No,
be
but
that
you
kind
know,
of
like,
like
but in a sense, what you're saying is when you hide your true feelings, usually what happens is it comes out in different ways.
Mhm.
So whether that's
Right.
aggression or whether that's
Resentment or it
resentment.
ends up like you push it down and it'll pop up like a groundhog, like up
Yeah.
somewhere
Mhm.
random. Like if someone has I noticed the times that I would have a random overreaction to something. Like you have to notice your triggers. And it's like
Mhm.
you tell yourself like, "Well, I can't be mad at this." So then you push the feelings down, you end up being randomly mad at, like, something breaking or someone being late or, like, a plan,
Exactly.
and then you're like,
Mhm.
"That's fucking out of place." It's like, "No, it's really about this thing, but you pushed it down, and now
Mhm.
it's
You
about
have an
Doritos."
inappropriate emotional reaction to like what there were no Skittles at the corner store. Like
Yeah.
Right.
Or
I'm
like you're
like,
going out with your friend, like you're going out with Keanu and Keanu's late. And then you're like, you fucking bitch, I'm always waiting for you. Like, and you're like, Keanu's like, dude, I'm sorry, it was just 5 minutes. Like, you know, is everything okay? You know, like
I am a
that's
little
the
late.
that's the kind of thing because it comes out and you'll end up lashing out at other people or
Yeah.
even yourself. Like you'll beat yourself up for it. You'll be like, you know, you're just gonna be a miserable person. So you got
That's
to deal with big feelings.
and to that point, I don't not that I don't believe in dating apps. I think that they work for people. But if you were like, okay, I'm going to check things off my list. I'm going to go to college and then I'm going to find a job. And also I need to find a partner. So here's the things that I want. I just don't think it works that way. At least not in my life. You meet people and you either have a connection with them or you don't. It's not a box to check. Like, get married.
Mhm.
Well,
Have
Keanu, like
partners.
there's a saying that goes, "We make plans and God laughs." So
Yes,
it's just
exactly.
like that's what it is with plans like that. You're like this checklist that you're gonna follow, like it's gonna fall apart. That
So then
because
what
that's
would
life.
you gals say? Because I've heard people say this about men and marriage that, well, it's not necessarily about the woman, it's just about timing. It's like a guy's, uh, if you're the woman that they're with when they happen to be ready to get married, then you'll get married. Have you guys heard people say this about men? Like it's more really about just timing for them.
Men always, it's like, all
sometimes.
right, this one seems to be all right, and now I better get married or whatever. I hate that if that's the way men feel, but
I think it depends on the person too, because again, like it depends on what kind of man it is. Do they come from, a broken home, like where they've had like, their mom and dad are divorced and they think that no marriage lasts? Do they think, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they have to have a certain amount of like thing for themselves as well, or they have they had like several relationships that's fallen apart. These things all are about nuance, I think, like because every no two people are the same. Everybody's situation is
we're
different. So
shades of gray. Yeah.
yeah,
And
exactly.
even me, I never wanted to get married in my life. My mom and dad, they're divorced, but they have they're like best friends. But I remember my mom being like, Keanu, you want to have fun and live your life? I was a kid. Or do you want to get
How old were
married
you?
and do laundry? What's that?
Sorry.
I love the pregnant woman eating.
It's
She's like, I
fine.
don't give a fuck. I'm just
Wow.
gonna.
It's not just a little bite of something. This is like a full blown.
I love it.
I love you. Amazing.
I
Sorry,
love
it's
it.
really bad.
No, okay,
How
I'll tell
old
you
were
that.
you when your mom said that, Keanu?
I was just walking up the stairs from school. I might have been in like 4th grade. And she was just in lunch.
Wow.
Keanu, let me tell you something. Do you want to get married, or do you want to have fun, be cool, and live your life? Or do you want to get married and do laundry?
But
And I
you're
said,
doing laundry even if you're on your own anyway.
I said, well, you don't even do dad's laundry. Like he does his own. So I'm not
Where
really
is
sure
this
what
coming
you're
from?
going through right now, but thank God you guys are divorced now, or in the future will be. But
I mean,
it never crossed my mind to ever check off marriage off my list of things to do.
the weird
And
part is,
Gino's been engaged 2 times before me.
Really?
oh, really?
Yeah, I think he was probably a fucking fuck boy before.
Wow.
And the
Wow.
women that he was with wanted to check that off their list and marry him. But I think now he just is, he was ready for it now at his elderly age of 55. And not just with anybody, but with me, because I don't think he thought he was ever going to get married either. So
Yeah.
Well, and
You
then
like bring it out of the person.
we have 9 months to go, so we may still not, but
You'll make it.
you'll make it. I have a feeling that this one's gonna be a lifetime thing.
we'll be
The
just fine.
timing thing is interesting, Chrissy, because I think sometimes that is the case. Like even for me, like I think at the time when I met my husband, it was like just the right time. Now for me, like I'm also the weird person because I think for me it was like love at first sight. And like I fell in love with him like immediately. Like the moment I saw his face, I was like, I'm in love. And it was the weirdest
Aw.
thing where it was like I didn't want to I had a list and I had been hurt previously right before I had met him. Like I had somebody cheated on me, actually several guys like the twice before. I was at a place where I was like, I hate all men. Like I was like, I don't like men, they suck, like fuck dating, like whatever. And so I
You
had
had
that
your
list.
haircut scheduled and everything.
Yeah, and I had this list where my list was
Mhm.
like on the top of the list is I'm never dating a Persian guy because I was like Persian dudes are fucked up. Like no, I'm not gonna date one ever. Blah 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 blah.
They shed.
And
No,
yeah, it was
that's the cats. Never mind.
so many so many problems. They're hairy. That's true. They are. And then when I met him, I was like, oh my God, I fell in love with a Persian dude. This is not part of the list. Like it's not supposed to happen. So what am I gonna do? Like, I went into overdrive trying to figure out like why am I attracted to this dude? Like, doesn't make any sense. I have to stop this. But it is what it is. And the timing of it was right. Like for some reason, the timing of it for both of us was correct. But I was the one that initiated everything though, Chrissy. Like I didn't wait around. Like I was like,
Ooh.
I'm in love and I'm fucking making this happen. Because
Wow.
if I don't make it happen, it's not going to. Because he's not gonna do it. And so I did.
So some might say your husband is a simp because
Yeah.
you made all
love
the
that.
moves.
That's fine.
not
He's my
You're
simp.
not
He's my
you're
forever simp.
not supposed
Santi
to
is a total simp.
you're not
100%.
supposed to seek a woman's validation. You're not supposed to seek approval. I think men and women both need approval and validation. Like you might not come out and ask for it, but like
Humans need
Everybody.
approval. Humans need it. You can act
Human
like nails,
beings.
nails, nails. I don't care. I don't
Mhm.
care. It's fine. But like, you need some sort of approval, doesn't everybody?
Everybody. Every human
Also,
being.
I hate to do this, but I do have to go. I have to do Keanu Cast.
oh shoot.
I wanted to pop
Bye.
by because this was so interesting. Chrissy, I'll see you a little later.
Oh, all right. Bye, Kiki.
This was
Bye,
fun.
Kiki.
Bye.
If you're not watching this show, you better watch Keanu Cast. Okay. Do not seek validation. Okay. What do you think of this one, Nina? Don't ask for commitment. Well, you broke this rule. It sounds like you asked for a commitment.
Oh, I asked for a commitment. I asked for a relationship. I asked for commitment. I asked for everything. Like I was just like, this is what I want. And he was like, okay. That's what I'm talking about. Like when you're honest with your feelings, like there's either a yes or no answer,
Yeah.
I didn't want to play the game. So I'm like, if you don't want to commit, if you don't want a relationship, tell me now so we don't have to fuck around. Like why are we wasting time here?
Right. And if that is going to scare somebody off, well, it's like that person either doesn't want a relationship, period, or definitely doesn't want one with you. So it's like you might as well scare them off.
Exactly. If they're gonna scare off, then go. Go so you can find someone that doesn't scare off.
Yeah. Okay. What about this one I partially agree with that you shouldn't don't lose yourself in the relationship.
You'll lose yourself.
Don't toss away the goals you have for your career, for your life, for your things you really want for yourself, because you're just going to resent that person.
This I partially agree with too, because a lot of dudes have that white knight syndrome as well, where they think that they have to like rescue the woman at every turn and always be, whoa, this is a weird camera.
We're over here now.
Always be like they have to be the person that's going to rescue her. If there's like a problem or whatever, he's going to step up. He's going to be the leader that's going to be the problem solver. But sometimes they got to solve their own problem and you got to solve your own problems. So I think like I agree with this, like prioritizing your own goals is a thing, because she has to do the same thing. She has to prioritize her goals.
What do you think about you must miss out on a date with her occasionally? That'll bring her ego down.
I think that's so dumb.
And then she'll respect you.
That's so fucking stupid. Like I think that part is so fucking dumb. No, you should never. You should always treat everybody right in your life. Like you shouldn't treat people like that. Just generally speaking, even with a friend, like I would never like just regularly just be like, oh, I'm gonna miss a date with a friend because I want them to miss me more. It's so manipulative. It's like, no, that's not how things work.
I don't like that, especially when like your time is really valuable and it's like you got a lot of shit going on.
Mm-hmm. It's manipulative. I don't like it. That's what I'm talking about. These are the games. That's a game. Like, oh, I'm gonna miss out on a date so I can like, blah, blah, blah.
Teach her.
That's games.
That'll teach her to like me.
That's not gonna work out.
Okay. Dress very nicely when you go out with her. I agree with this. The goal of this is to take the attention from her and give it to yourself. She's going to step up her game and compete with you.
What?
You both should be at your best. Like,
yeah,
especially when you're going on dates.
You should definitely dress nice when you go out with her, but you should also dress nice when you go out by yourself, because how you dress represents who you are and what you're putting out into the world. So regardless of whether you're, out there or not, take a shower,
Go ahead, take the
Just-
shower. The great Karl Lagerfeld once said, "Dressing up is good manners."
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. It is good manners. You should just do it for yourself.
I just don't like this. You have to take the tension off of her.
I mean, this person sounds like extra too. Like
Mhm.
you know how you've met some, I don't know. Most of the guys I've met that are like this are kind of gay, but there
Yes.
are those very, very metro extra guys where they're like, oh, I have to have like the attention on me instead of the
I just
girl.
say,
It's very weird.
you wanna have, like, if you're confident in yourself, you don't have to be broadcasting it, right? It's like men
Mhm.
who talk about how alpha they are, that's, like, the least alpha thing you could do. It's
Yeah,
just, like,
exactly.
build
Exactly.
yourself, have that quiet confidence, and then you will exude that without having to say a word. You will just sort of be a presence when you walk into a room.
Yeah, and it's also like the compensation, right? Like if you if you're out there like announcing how you're an alpha all the time, it's just like, okay, you are overcompensating for something. Like
Mhm.
so there's something going on.
Me no likey. Oh, look at other women. Yes, take
Ooh.
glances at other women. It's already creates a notion. Wait, this is written poorly. It already creates a notion in her mind.
What
Well,
notion is
I
that? That
look
you're
at
an
other women.
asshole?
We all look at people who are attractive. Like
Sure.
your eyes
We're
start to
red-blooded.
sear.
Yeah.
Yeah, your eyes start to
Yeah.
sink into your head when you meet someone you like. So
I think this is one of those nuanced things. Like, for example, if you're out on a first date with another woman, like, don't look at other women on a first date. Like, no. But if you've been together for a really long time, like, it's fine to look at the opposite sex because you're still alive. And, like, it's okay if they even look at you back because then you're like, oh, I still got it. Like, it's fine. Like,
there is a
don't
way to do
look,
it.
but don't touch.
There is a way to do it. Sometimes if Frank and I are out and, like, you notice somebody, like, he'll be like, "Do you think her butt is real?" And, like, then it becomes a
Mhm,
thing that you're both talking about
mhm.
instead of, like, I am checking this person out by myself. And,
Yep.
you'll always be like, oh, especially in the beginning, you're like, am I physically what this person wants? Like, am I their
Yes.
type or not? Like, am I so if you're like
Yeah.
straight up checking out other girls and you're in the early stages of dating somebody, that girl is just gonna think you're not holding their interest.
Right, exactly. I mean, I do that with my husband all the time too, but then again, this is like a beach town. So, like, I'm always like, "Hey, do you think that chicks' tits are real?" Like, like, it's
Yeah.
always because they're always out. So you're like, "Oh, I wonder if those are real or fake." Like the other day, my husband asked me like if I thought some chick's ass was real, and I was like, "Yeah, of course it's real." And I was like, That's a squat ass." And then he was like, "There's no way." Like, we were having an argument about whether her ass was real or not because it was just, like, one of those really, like, hardcore
Is
bubble
it
butts, like
shelf-like?
yeah, it was
Like a
like it just
bubble?
came out, and I was like, "How do you"
Do we like this layout?
I'm trying to edit it for you.
Oh,
I
Frank
li
is editing it. Oops.
I
I'm
like
just
it for the first person, like, if you there's one person on the panel.
he's
The
working on
2
it.
is too squishy.
Yeah, people watching is good. It's fun to just talk about people with your date. Oh, Nina's gone.
Bringing her back. 1 second.
All right, he's working on it. Like if you're out with would this work the other way around? If a chick was just like checking out dudes when you're out with her, would that make you feel good? I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't matter to guys as much. They'd be like, "Oh wow, she's really horned up tonight." Or like we'll be like, "Oh, do you think she's had too much work done or some work done?" Or just like, "Oh, did you see their face?" Okay.
I
Oh, you're over
Ooh,
there now.
hi.
I like this.
I like this
This
too, this is cool. I don't
let
think
me
I actually kind of agree with you on that because I don't think the dudes want to see the chicks checking out other dudes, especially on a first date either. Like,
yeah.
don't check out other people. When you're early on in the relationship, don't be checking people out. Like, this is just something that you got to like ease into and evolve into over time. But like at first, they're the universe. Like at first, you're all about them. Like you want them to know that they only have eyes for you. Like That's it for both. I think for both cases.
Right. Why go on a second date with somebody if you're not feeling like, wow, they are into me, I am into them, they're fully present when they're with me.
Mhm.
Time sort of stops. Like you want that
The
feeling.
fully present when you're with me, like, that is key. Like, especially, like, when you're, like, on a date and you wanna feel like that person's listening to you, you're giving them details about your life, be a good listener, like, you gotta listen, and that's what it means to be all about that person, I think.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next thing. Never get jealous about other men around her. She's pretty, and men are going to come around her. Anytime you show jealousy, it tells you you are not confident and a better man can come and take her away. Never get jealous about other men around her.
This is
Um,
weird.
well,
I have
why do you
mixed
feel
feelings on
that
this.
thing is like, what would be causing you to feel jealous about someone else when you're around her? If it's out of
Exactly.
nowhere and it's like if it has something to do with your insecurity, yeah, you gotta work at that. But did she say or do something or did something happen that made you now jealous of another guy?
Mhm. I mean, that's what I think too, but I mean, jealousy is never usually a good look. So even like for girls and guys, like it's just not a good look.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't recommend getting jealous, but you are also right because usually jealousy is rooted from something. So maybe you are checking out way too many girls around her or like something
Yeah.
like that. Like maybe there's something going on where why is there jealousy even happening? That's a good question to ask.
Some jealousy is natural and I think good because it shows that you care.
Mhm.
Do. Never argue with her or get emotional. Anytime you get emotional, it shows her that she has power and control over you. Don't argue with her. And if she's being unreasonable or disrespectful, take your leave.
I
Never
mean,
argue. How are you not going to argue with somebody? And how are you not going to get emotional? When you get emotional, it just shows that you care.
mhm.
Arguments point to where your values are. Disagreements point to I guess I think like, yeah, where your values, where your love is. So you
Mhm.
really should this is why you should not avoid conflict. It shows you what you care about. Your emotions always show you what you care about.
Yeah, and I mean, especially if you care about that person, you don't wanna hide that fact. So, it would just be like I think it would be living a lie if you don't really live through your emotions and show your emotions. I think it's really weird. Um, so obviously, like, if you're out in public and something happens, yeah, maybe you don't wanna share your emotions right then in front of people, but when you go home, it should be something that you discuss. Like, this again has to do with communication and having open communication and talking about your feelings. There's nothing wrong with that for both men and women.
And again, if you're to try to be with somebody long term and never it's just impossible. You're
Mhm.
never gonna be able to hold in all your emotions. You're gonna end up fucking
You're just gonna blow up, man.
being
I mean, this
silent
is
or
the
hurting
weird
an
part.
animal.
Chrissy, the weirdest part is like you're becoming a mom now, so you're gonna be going through all of this stuff. Where once your baby is here and once you're raising a toddler, and you're going to have to teach them about emotions. You're gonna have to teach them about anger. You're gonna have to teach them about sadness. You're gonna have to teach them about the positive feelings and the negative feelings and big emotions and little emotions and all this stuff. So this is something that every single one of us go through, except for some people get kind of arrested in development because they don't really maybe have that guidance or whatever it is. So, but at some point this is a human experience. Like having emotions and big feelings is a human experience. And so like it's so weird when we're talking about adults and adult feelings and we're talking about how like for example, if a toddler doesn't know their feelings, they'll have a tantrum. It is everyone knows this. Like if you're upset about something, if a toddler's upset about something and they haven't acknowledged that feeling, they're going to have a tantrum about it. But why is it that that becomes such a alien thing when we talk about adults? It's the same thing. If you don't deal with your emotions, you're going to have an adult tantrum. You're going to have an adult like it's going to come out through some other way. It's just the way it is. This is a human experience.
I don't think you should hide your emotions as a man, because the times where Frank has been emotional, it's actually showed me like what he really cares about.
Mhm.
And emotions make you take something a lot more seriously than
Exactly.
you're like, oh wow, this is meaningful. This is something to think about, or this is like this
This is
matters.
really important.
Yeah.
Yeah. You take note. I mean, there's been times where my husband's been like super emotional too. And I've been like, maybe I didn't take it as seriously. And then I was like, whoa, okay. Like I need to pay attention here. This is important.
Yeah. And like don't abuse that. Like I think it's probably something women, like we are probably more emotional generally speaking, but because we're more emotional at certain times of the month. So maybe you are getting emotional about things that don't deserve that full emotion, but that's you fucking sort through that.
But I think also women tend to be more passive aggressive, and like the women tend to manipulate more in that sense because we're more passive aggressive. So like we will use emotions to get what we want in that way. Like we do try to manipulate men in that sense. And I think all that is wrong. Again, that comes with like not playing games. It's one of those things where you really have to be working on yourself as a person as well. Like as a female, you have to be working on yourself and understanding that you have you have the capability to manipulate men. You do. It's just part of it. That's part of being a female. But you shouldn't
Yeah. Use your
like-
powers for good, not evil. Luna Lane, society teaches men to suck it up and take it. So letting emotions out is not something men like to do. I think you can let it be known what's important to you without like being super angry. Like my dad had a problem managing his emotions. Like
Mhm.
he would yell a lot, like his temper was out of control, and it scared the shit out of me growing up. Like it's why
Mhm.
I don't like yelling and like screaming. Like I don't like being around. Like I actually shrink from it as an adult. But
Mhm.
I don't think. But I think that was because he didn't felt heard or seen by my
Yes.
mom. So he would have to get to a place where he was fucking losing his mind
Mhm.
uh, to feel
See,
noticed.
that's the validation, right? Like
Yeah.
he didn't feel heard or seen, so he didn't feel validated. So he
Right.
did what he did. Again, all these things go into like it comes out in child psychology really early on. If you don't get validated and if your emotions aren't validated even as a young child, you're going to blow up. It's gonna come out in a different way. So again, it applies to adulthood as well. Like your father went through that because of that. Hey, Frank.
Oh, it's fake. Women are more emotional. Hey, no, which is why the rare times I do get emotional, it is more impactful in our conversations. Men and women need to speak both with emotion and logic.
Agreed.
Yes, that's why, like, right, if I'm emotional about something, I have to wade through it a little bit more like, okay, am I repressing something else? Is this about something
Mhm.
else? Is this like a hormonal thing? Is this a time of the month
That's
thing?
a
Is
good
this
question. Yes, that's good.
Is it like, am I just exhausted right now? Am I just like tired? Have I not been taking care of myself physically? Have I missed the gym too many times? Am I just like is it just too
Mhm.
messy? Do I need to like fix my surroundings? It's like you got to like, and of course when you're in that place, you can't always logically run through like what else could it be, because when you're in your
Mhm.
feelings, you're just in them. But
Mhm.
that's why you got to learn about like your partner, like okay,
But
this is
also
how they get. What
to
else is going on?
Frank's point, because women are more emotional and men are more logical, this is why we're like the perfect match. So technically, this is why we're a good team. So it's okay for women to be more emotional and men to be more logical. Like I think that's kind of like the way it's supposed to be, so that when men have like problems with their emotions, that women can help them, and when women are not logical, men can help women see something from a different perspective. Like I think
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
almost supposed to be like that. So like, even though we're saying like, guys, you should be more emotional, we're not saying like go become little pussies. Like that's why
No.
women don't like pussy ass men. Cause like, no, we're not telling you to become soy boys and cry about everything like Kevin Smith online. Like we need a balance.
Women definitely do need men to help them be more logical. And I think men definitely benefit from women being like, okay, I think this is what your dad is trying to say, or I think this is what your mom is going through. I think this is why they said this because they're feeling this way about this. And that explains, you know, like just like little things. Like when we were planning our wedding, Frank's
Your husband
uncle,
just made me laugh. I'm sorry.
really, he's very funny. When we were planning our wedding, we were yeah, his uncle, his dad's brother was like really was talking about how much he wanted a big band, and for a second we were like, is he trying to like take over the planning process? Is this getting out of control? Is this like
Oh no.
it's our wedding, god damn it. And then we were like, no, he fucking loves music. Like he never
Aw.
got married. He wants to like bring this fun aspect to our special day and like be part of it and like kind of live vicariously. And it's like to
That's
not
so
like see
sweet.
that for what it was, and just to be like, oh, you have to just like see where someone's coming from, and and if you have to be tapped into like emotions and where someone's coming from and their story, to like connect that.
And to have like basically having external consideration of understanding, like, hey, that's where this guy's coming from. And like, maybe we could be a little bit more understanding about that. This is what made me.
Yes, this is why MGTOW men are closeted homosexuals. Yes, the G in MGTOW is gay. Men gaying their own way.
That's
their
right,
own thinking.
Drex. That's right, Drexel.
I hear so
So
much about
gay.
this Drex person, but I don't think maybe
You
I've
still
him
haven't
once.
met him?
I think maybe I've been on like a stream with him or something.
Oh,
but
Chrissy,
everyone
you need
talks
to.
about him.
Okay, Chrissy, you need to invite him on Simcast. I
Okay.
think you would. I think you would have a lot of fun with Drex. Drex is Nick Rekieta's best friend. They grew
Okay.
up together, and he's
Aw.
this very, very interesting black dude. That has a lot of really fucked up.
I could use
views.
more black friends.
Yeah, and I completely disagree with a lot of what he says, but he's hilarious. And yeah, you should definitely bring him on Simcast one day. I think it'll be a good
Ooh.
show.
Push-Ups is here. He's here just to say how much of an alpha he is. Thank you, Push-Ups. James Shart, alpha male never has to tell anyone they're alpha. Exactly.
Exactly, James.
Junior, what is the best way to tell a girl to lose weight? Ooh,
Good one. That's a tough question.
How would I like to hear it? How would I say it? Well, that's the thing. It's if they have gained significant weight over the course of your relationship, they probably know it. First weed out, like, okay, you have to handle it a little bit differently if it's something like depression related,
Good
or
point.
did
Good
they
point.
fucking they don't have the funds to like they either don't have the time or the money to spend on like good food, like healthy food. Are they eating out too much fast food? Why is that? Is it they too busy? Is it a money thing? Are they just not did they used to like the gym and now they don't go to gym? Is it because they don't have time or it's not fun for them anymore? Did they and that's tricky too, is like my mom she was never into the gym. She never was athletic, and she gained weight over the course of her and my dad's marriage. And my dad would always like say low key like fat comments about her. And like I remember one time for Christmas, he bought her like a child size bracelet that really fucked with her because she just thought like, is this just I'm too fat? But it was
Oh
really
my God.
a little girl size bracelet that he just fucking went to the wrong section of Macy's. And
wait, do you think he went to the wrong section, or do you think that was planned?
Who knows? Who knows? He would he gave us all fucking weight complexes for sure. Like he would shame us if we ever got a second helping for any reason at any holiday.
Don't do that.
or
Don't
thing.
do that. Don't do what Chrissie Mayr's dad did.
But I think, and as growing up, being a little bit more emotionally closer to my mom, like I knew that was something she dealt with. I felt bad that like he made her kind of feel bad about herself. But it also sucked that she wasn't interested in physically like doing it. She should have, for her own health,
Mhm.
I wish she had been someone who liked to work out, but I'm like, I'm sure she was like that when my dad met her. So
Mhm.
you can't really turn somebody into a gym person if they're not already a gym person.
Mhm.
So it's like, have they fallen off of it? If so, why? Or were they never interested in it? Like, I think I think you should help your partner be as healthy as they could possibly be because you want them to live as long as they possibly can. But you don't want to be like, make it seem like homework. Like, you gotta, if someone doesn't like the gym, they're not gonna you're not gonna make them go because it's not fun.
I
But
think
maybe, I don't know, go
maybe
hiking, go, like,
yeah.
dogs for a walk, do a
Mhm.
fun maybe a class together. But it is tricky because at the end of the day, you do wanna still find each other fuckable, and part of that is your weight. Um,
Mhm. I think that's one of the things that I would do if like especially if you're early on in the relationship. Again, right now, my husband and I have been together for so long that we don't fuck around. Like if one of us wants the
as
other
I
one
eat
to
french
lose weight
fries.
or whatever, we just tell each other like, "Hey man, like
You
you need to lose
actually
a little bit."
say it like
Of
that?
course. Yeah, like you're starting to get bigger. Like you need to do something. Like you've been eating not
Wow.
well. Like once you like at a certain point, like there's no fucking around anymore. That's what I'm talking about. But when you're in the early stages of relationship, it's different. So for example, if you want to do you're pregnant also. So you're eating for two.
There's no
That's
excuse.
okay. Yeah, and Persians don't have filter. Russ is right. Like
Really?
our Persian culture like is like that. And you know what's funny is like one of the things
Huh.
that in
You're
Persian
right.
culture
My
actually,
brother's wife is Persian. She didn't give a fuck.
but also we kind of do, especially for strangers. Like here's the thing, like Persian culture is very weird in a sense of like let's say me and you, okay? Like let's say like I see you and you're a Persian girl, okay? And I haven't seen you for a long time, and let's say you're not pregnant, you've gotten bigger. I'd literally be like, "Chrissy, oh my god, you've gotten so big. You must be really
You would
happy in your
say that to
life."
me, Nina? You would
Yeah, like,
say
"Oh
that
my
to oh
god,
my
you've you've really, like, just fully like, you're just fully grown, like, you're
You would
into
fucking say that
yourself."
to me? You would
That's
really
what
say that?
Persian people would. That's what Persian people
Whoa.
say to each other. Like, it's like, "Oh, like, you look you're like," and then it's
Wow.
the opposite
Like
too. Like,
family.
if
You think family would do that, or would you see your friends?
Family and
Okay,
friends, yeah, like,
interesting.
especially, like and it works the opposite too, like, if a person has gotten skinny, like, "Oh, wow, you've lost so much weight, like, you look great," and then behind their back, you'd be like, "Oh my god, that person's way too skinny now, blah, blah, blah," like, it's that Persian culture is fucked up like that. But going back to what I was saying earlier, like, I think I would do is or, like, what people should do just generally speaking is, like, lead by example. Like, if you think your partner needs to lose weight, be like, "Hey, do you wanna start hiking together? Hey, do you wanna start,
Hiking is
like"
also just fun, and it's good
Yeah.
quality time.
Mhm. "Do you wanna go biking together every Sunday? Do you wanna do, like, whatever every Sunday? Do you wanna" I feel like I wanna start working out more. "Do you wanna go to the gym with me on whatever days?" Like, you don't have to call them fat, but you can also lead by example and, like, get them to start working out, get them to start feeling better. "Hey, I feel like we've been eating out too much lately. Do you wanna, like, maybe cook together, like, in the
Yeah.
house and, like, eat
And that's great
healthier?"
'cause you save money too.
Mhm. You don't have to, like, insult them, so you can just be like, "Hey, I feel like I wanna eat healthier. Let's do this together." And then, like, through
Yeah.
that, lead by example, and that men are supposed to lead women anyway, so in that sense, you just gotta lead.
I see couples at my, F45 gym. There's, like, a few. But you have to be a gym person, and it's a well, that's the thing
Mhm.
is I fucking loathe the gym. Unless I have a plan, the gym is so boring, and that's why I really love F45 because you show up, it's like 45 minutes, boom, it's a guaranteed sweat. They tell you what to do, just listen.
Mhm.
You're lifting weights, it's circuit training, it's cardio, and it's weights, so you feel like you've done both, and that made me, like, love the gym when I
Mhm.
really kinda didn't before. And before that, they would make us go to the gym, like, in college. I remember when I was, doing diving in college, they put us on, like, it was it was, like, a bad program. They didn't know what they were doing. I think they gave us the football weight training program at one point. I was like, "Why are we doing shrugs? We're divers. Like, why do I need to build up my fucking traps?" Or whatever these are.
Oh, that's funny.
It's weird. And I was like, "Huh."
Yeah,
And then
at
we
some
all
point,
took
you'll get into a
hydroxycut.
relationship. How long have you been with Frank again?
9 years.
Okay, yeah. When you get to like, I don't know, probably past 10 years, you'll start being like, what? Not you, and certainly not right now,
People.
Frank, because she's pregnant. But at some
Well,
point,
I
you'll get
will
to a point where like you'll be like, no, like you need to start working
like,
out.
all right, you've given birth. Now let's get back to it. I mean, like, I also know what I looked like before I got pregnant. I'm also, like, very good at being hard on myself just generally. So
Mhm,
I would probably kick my own ass first before needing to be told. But who knows? I might get
mhm,
depressed. I might
I mean, sometimes you need that push too. That's the other thing. Like sometimes you do need that extra push for your husband to be like, "Hey, like you really should get off the couch." Like, like sometimes yeah, you do. And I think that that's not a bad thing necessarily.
yeah, and Frank has definitely said to me, like, I think it helps me so much mentally. I can get, like, a little just depressed and mopey and brooding, and really just going to the gym, it's like a refresh. It's like, it hel
Mhm.
like, if I'm just not on point and not sticking to a schedule, like, "Hey, get up early tomorrow, go to the gym." It's like, "Yes, why not? I should be doing that." Okay.
There you go. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
that's what it's about. So I don't know if we answered your question, Junior. Or you could pull out, something sexy from, like, the lingerie drawer or, like, an old dress of hers that she maybe there's a dress of hers that she looked really good in or something. Who knows if it fits or not anymore, be like, "I fucking like, you should wear this," or something. I don't know. Again,
Mm.
you also that sucks. You don't wanna if someone is like, has been checked out on their body and on their weight for so long, like, if you pull out an old dress and they're like, "That doesn't fit me anymore, you're an asshole."
Yeah, that might be it. Yeah, that might be a recipe for disaster, Chrissy.
Yeah, don't listen to me. Stephanie Tam, cheers to your baby dragon. So exciting. Thank you, Stephanie Tam. Yes, this is the year of the
Oh,
dragon. I am gonna have a dragon baby.
are you really?
Yes, a wood
That's so
dragon. This is the
cute.
year of the wood dragon. So,
Amazing.
okay, let me see. Oh my God, Kentucky Tim, thank you so much for the orange boy.
Video was like gaslight her. Sorry.
Kentucky Tim, with great beauty and intellect comes great responsibility, or more realistically, be freaking evil and wield the power however you like. Life is short. Take it by the horns. Sometimes you just gotta say, "What the fuck?"
What the fuck?
This is great advice for anytime, anything.
Okay,
Mangus,
wait.
thank you.
I did say what the fuck the other day, and I deeply regretted it.
Really?
So, yeah, do you wanna hear the story?
I do.
I went to the Mexican fair, and I was with a couple friends, and my husband was there too. And I was like, "I'm gonna go on this roller coaster, this rickety ass Mexican roller coaster because I feel like I just needed a thrill or something in my life." I was just like, I was
Was
bored.
the
I'm like,
Mexican roller coaster just basically, like, taking you through what it's like to cross illegally, like, at the border and like, "Oh,
kind
get in
of.
the river," you know?
Except no, it was literally like being I thought I was gonna die. Like I went on this roller coaster and I thought I was gonna die or get amputated or something. And like end up getting I got hurt so bad. And my husband was like before I went on there, he was like, "Are you sure you want to go on here? Like you're gonna get hurt." And I was like, "No, I'm gonna go." It's like, what's the worst that could happen other than me dying? Like, and I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna die. So I went and like I got a massive bump on my head because I got like just smashed my
Oh my
head
god,
against
it,
the
like,
thing as it's
donkey
going.
punched you.
Yeah, and then at some point, like the thing turned. So I went like right just here, like had a massive bump like right
Oh,
into the thing.
wow. So it
'Cause like
fucked you
the
up.
guy that was sitting next to me just like flew right into me and I went like
I don't
right
like a
back.
jostly roller coaster.
Oh my god, it was the jostliest roller coaster you could ever ride. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was like, "I'm gonna grab life by the balls, and I'm gonna go on this Mexican roller coaster." And, yeah, don't do that, guys.
Stay away from the Mexican roller coaster.
Yeah.
Mangus, thank you for the yellow boy.
Such a good song.
I used to be a pua back in the mid-2000s and ended up working for my buddy's company being a coach. Lol, I can assure you, everyone involved in pua crap are incels. We were just scamming introverts. Pua? What is Pua?
Pickup artist.
Oh, pickup artist. Duh.
I learned that from Brittany Venti.
I
I have
remember
no idea what
there
the
was a
fuck that
guy
was.
with the big hat. And he's like, you gotta have a statement piece. Keep them guessing about you. Have a crazy accessory.
Oh my god.
Scamming introverts. Wow. He's really
I
blowing the whistle on it.
mm-hmm.
Pushup says, I'm a dragon. He's gonna be cool like me. Ugh, not a great example, pushups, but thank you.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Oh my God,
so
funny.
we've debunked the emotional square. What about this one? Never show your insecurity. Never ask a woman what she feels about you or ask for personal advice. You shouldn't give a fuck about what a woman thinks about you. She could easily sense insecurity from you if you seek validation from her. This is similar to the other one about not
We've already
seeking
been over this. We've already been
validation.
over this, which is dumb.
You of course should ask your chick for advice, especially if it's a fucking interpersonal issue, or if you can't figure out someone's feelings, if there's like a tension in the family or a really anything. Yeah, I mean,
This is so stupid.
don't ask
This
me like the best way to get the fucking ice off the car. Don't ask me shit I don't know about, like how to stick drive or rotate a tire. Um, but ask
This
her
is
about stuff
dumb.
she knows about. Yes, please.
This is probably some of the worst advice because this is telling you not to communicate. And
Yes.
the best thing for any relationship ever is communicate, communicate, communicate. So do not listen to this bullshit. This is not going to
You
work
need
out in
a
anything.
you need a sounding board. You need to bounce things off of somebody. Like,
Mhm.
you might be thinking away and you just need to bounce it off somebody and be like, "Yeah, okay, I was right. Okay, yeah, I wanna make sure I wasn't crazy," or like, "Am I wrong?
Mhm.
This is how I'm gonna respond to this person. Am I crazy for thinking this or having this
Here's
be
the
my
thing.
response?"
What is even the point of a relationship if you're not going to talk to your partner? I just don't understand what is even the point. Because if you're just looking to go and have sex and then like that's it, like that, if that's what you want in your life, then just do the whole Tinder thing, like, swipe
Yeah.
people and then just go bang and then call it a day. Like you're not really
Have,
looking to have a relationship with
have sugar
anyone then.
babies. Just
Yeah.
have people do escorts. There's
Yeah.
so
Just have
many of them.
hookers. Why
Yeah.
not? Like, because if you're looking for a relationship, this is not. There's no point. There's no point in having one unless you're, wanting to be vulnerable. If you want to get to the nitty gritty and actually have a life with someone, this is not the advice you should be following.
Asking for advice does not make you insecure. Like, you have to acknowledge that you are just one person with one perspective on this planet. And
Mhm,
in
mhm.
fact,
You're not perfect. You're
you're
not
not an
perfect.
island.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah. Bad
Mhm.
advice. Okay, what's next? Be random. Keep her guessing and on her toes by being unpredictable. Plan surprise dates, show up unexpectedly. Oh, everyone loves that. And keep her
Wow.
guessing by not following a routine. You'll keep her guessing and make her work harder to keep your attention. Wait a minute. So this guy is both suggesting that you are supposed to cancel dates and not make all the
Mhm.
dates, but also show up randomly.
Mhm. So here's the thing on this thing, I kind of half agree, but not fully. Like in a sense of like, especially when you're in a long-term relationship like mine, you do want to keep it random. I know I saw that going. That's great.
Jake.
You do want to keep it random sometimes and like get outside your bubble and get outside your routine because it's more fun. It's fun. You want to like, you want to spice it up once in a while. You do want to do romantic things like surprise her and like, take her out, on a night at a town or whatever. Like those things that's what you should do, especially in like older, more mature relationships. If you're starting out at first, I don't think being random and not showing up and blah, blah, blah is going to necessarily work out. I think having a routine at first is actually better, like having a standing Saturday night date, having a standing Friday night date, or whatever it is. Like, and having like those things like is actually good to build that foundation first. And then you can throw in the surprises once in a while and blah, blah, blah. But surprise is always good, just generally speaking, like, intermittently, not
Yeah,
always.
types of surprises. Don't be showing up at her fucking job or
Yeah.
something. Don't be showing up, like, when you're not ready and she has her glasses on still and,
Mhm.
sweatpants. She doesn't want you to see
Mhm.
her like that. Come on, she's trying to do a good impression.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially not to work because then they're gonna feel like they can't fucking answer phones because 'cause you're there or
Yep.
whatever, or they can't,
Yep.
then you're gonna feel torn.
Mhm.
Yikes. I think it's good. Yeah, I would say, "Hey, keep Friday night clear," and then you
Exactly.
take them out.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, you can plan for that surprise. Alright, well,
Mhm.
is this like a sporty thing? Is this a fancy dinner thing? It's like, how do I dress? Okay, and then you can be surprisey about the rest of it. Like, don't, "Oh, I'm taking you on a fucking helicopter, don't wear stilettos." I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how many
Chrissy, that's
peop
actually a great
Yeah.
idea, like, at a great point, because there's a lot of guys are like, "Oh, I wanna surprise my girl, blah, blah, blah," but then they don't really tell you anything, and you're literally the girl spends hours trying to figure out how
Right.
what to do and how to get ready. No, like, do not
Right.
you
You're
have to tell
taking her
them.
to a dunk tank just to be
Yeah.
like, "Don't blow your hair out that day, okay?"
Yeah,
Like, don't
exactly. Yeah. If you're going on a hike,
wear
like, yeah, you don't
flats.
wanna be wearing,
Yeah.
like, fucking stilettos. You're not wearing club wear, for whatever, like, "We're going to the mountains today for camping," or some
Yeah.
shit like
We're
that, like,
going on
no.
the whatever podcast. Wear your finest tube top.
Yeah.
By not
Oh.
following a routine. Yeah, in some senses, you do want to not be I get that. Don't be boring. Yeah, continue to date your person and, like, get to know them and make sure you're, you know, dedicating, like, special time to and again, this was like a fight, I think, Pearl was talking about this a couple months ago, like, shaming couples who engage in a date night. You shouldn't need a date night, if you're
Mhm.
married, like, it's, like she was calling women high maintenance for, like, demanding a date night. It's like,
That's
it
so
doesn't even have to
dumb.
be a date, it's just a dedicated night where you are present and focused on each other.
Mhm.
Um, like, it's like, "Oh, well, don't plan any late night streams or don't plan to, like" it's a night you don't wanna watch a game, or it's a night you're not hanging with friends, or, like, just, like, sort of
Mhm.
that's the stuff that makes you feel like you're prioritizing each other.
Mhm.
That does
Those are always good things. Date nights are
yeah.
great. I don't know what she's talking about. That chick doesn't know what the
Mhm.
hell she's talking but then again, she's never been married or, like, been in a really long-term relationship, so I don't know what she's like, don't give that kind of advice, Pearl.
Yes, but she's young still and and 27, and the whole world is ahead of her. Um,
Dude, according to her never mind.
she'll say what,
She's
that
gonna
a
hit the wall
27
soon.
that a 27-year-old 6 is better than a 35-year-old 9 or something like that. Very just she'll pick random metrics. Uh,
Very retarded metrics.
yes, we're gonna wrap this up soon. Just gonna blow through these last couple little things. Never be too quick to have sex. Ooh,
That's
even if you
actually
are
good.
even if you
I
are
agree with
there
this.
for the sex, never let her know that your real intention is being thirsty and you only want to get under her skirt. Make her feel that that is the last thing you want to do with her. Wow, I actually
Mm,
kind of agree with this.
same, same. But I agree, like, I actually especially agree with this about women. Like, girls, ladies, stop putting out on a fucking first date, okay?
Ugh.
Like, stop putting
I
out in
could tell
general.
my younger self anything, it would be this. Yeah.
Mhm.
Even if
Yep,
you're
it's
horned up, like, just don't do it.
just don't do it. Like, seriously, that is me too. If I could tell my younger self anything, it would be do not have sex quickly.
Mhm. Like,
You
men have
sex
post-nut clarity, women have, post-nut non-clarity. Like, we actually get
Mhm.
are a little bit more fuck-withable after we have sex, and, like, those hormones are released, and you start, like, attaching to somebody, and it's like, don't start
Yes.
attaching to somebody unless you figure out if they're worth attaching to.
Yes, exactly, because, like, ladies, sex does not equal love.
Okay, I was not gonna get into this, but since he mentioned it, yeah, Frank did make me wait, like, a while, and I was like, scratching at the walls. It was a minute. It might have been
Oh
a
my
month.
god.
It might have been a month, and
See? And then
I was
now he's
losing my
got you.
freaking
He's
I was
got you
losing
for
my
life.
mind. I was like, "What? Something's wrong."
Oh my god, that's amazing. Good job, Frank. Good
Oh my
job.
god. It just made me want him even more. It worked.
Mm-hmm.
Alright,
I
go.
think that's true in both cases, but especially women do not fucking put out, man. It's like
Mhm.
that old saying. What is that old saying? Like, don't nobody's gonna want a cow if you give the milk away for free. Like,
Yeah.
dude, that is so true.
But what if, like, the carton's really cute, you know? Just buy a
No,
cute empty
Chrissy, stop
carton.
it. No free
Keep
milk, damn
keep
it.
some of your milk.
That's right.
Right, especially because girls are expecting that that's all you're gonna try for, and sometimes, man, just, like, a really good kiss at the end of the night is like, oh, man, it just, like,
I
sets you thinking, like,
know.
"What else is it gonna be
Mhm.
like?" Like, oh, it's
Yes.
really you have to keep it, like fucking why not? You have the rest of your life to do whatever.
Mhm.
Keep it, like, in that fun, almost like high school. I remember
Yes.
in high
Go
school, like,
through the
kissing
bases,
somebody.
literally.
Yeah, remember, like, in high school, you kiss someone, it was, like, the biggest deal ever, you, like, lose your shit, like, why
Yeah.
not? Like, why not keep
And
it
then you
there as
wait
long as you
and you're
can?
like and you wait, you go on several dates and you're like, "I finally got to, like, second base tonight." Like,
Yeah.
like, you gotta do that, like, pace it out, people, pace it out. Do not, like,
Mhm.
right away be like, "I'm going to third base." Like, no, no, no,
Oh
no.
my god. I didn't know what the bases were for remember, I had to have it explained to me what sloppy second base was, is it sloppy third base or regular third base? I'm like, "This doesn't sound like baseball at all." We'd be watching a game, me and Frank would be like, "Look, Derek Jeter just got to sloppy third." "What?"
Oh my god.
Yes, ear whispering, booby touch.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That
Just
first
savor
boob touch.
the moments.
Mhm.
Savor the moments.
Whoa,
What did I
it's
do?
much bigger all of a sudden.
I
Like,
just
whoa.
switched us around. Well, you know what? Okay, in summation, dark psychology, dating master. Mostly bad advice, and this is all they're trying to sell this 7 proven tactics to keep a conversation going over text. It's like, do people really need help texting? Is this just for people with no personalities?
Yeah, probably. I don't
Like,
see why anyone would need texting at this point in time.
yeah.
We've been texting for way too long.
Yeah. Keep a conversation going. I don't know. I think just fucking ultimately be yourself. Because if you pretend not to be yourself, how long can you really keep that up for?
Yep, exactly. That's what I've been saying the whole time. I mean, like this
Mhm.
that's one of the things that especially YouTubers too, like you find out like later on, you're like, "Oh, some people on YouTube aren't really like exactly their YouTube personality." Like I'm like, "Man, that is way too much work." Like this is me. Like you've met me now, Chrissy. Like am I not like who
You are the
like
same.
I'm the
You're
same person.
thinner and hotter in real life, actually.
I feel the same way about you. Like you're way hot in real life. And I way obviously way funnier too because I got to see you set. So,
Oh,
but like that generally speaking, is just be real, man. Just be real. That guys like girls who are real and like it's
yeah.
the opposite too. Real
Work on
people.
yourself, build yourself up, get to whatever the most confident, natural you is, because whatever the best version of you is going to be better than any pretend,
Hmm.
gamey, bullshitty version of you that you won't be able to keep up
Hmm.
anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
There, we solved it. We solved dating. This stream will be redirecting to Keanu cast. So just sit tight and you'll be drifted off over there. Have people say, oh, what did that guy say? She's arms, legs, and a cell phone.
Yes, she's a cell phone person or
Yeah, she's
something?
this guy that was in the Dominican Republic with her said that she's nothing but arms, legs, and a cell phone. So like, oh, you know what you should say? You came for the arms and the legs, but you're staying for the cell phone.
That's pretty good.
Any like variation of that will make her
Mhm.
laugh. And then Nina, I know you have to run, and then I'm gonna be on Elijah Shaver's show at 10 p.m. Um
Tonight?
yeah, like in a half hour.
Oh, wow, okay, yeah, I have my show at 10 too.
Okay, cool. Nina, where can people find
You
you?
find me on Nina Infinity, and I'm going to be having Chandler Remington on, and
Ooh,
possibly
I
Megan
love
Fox.
her.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
great. We're gonna be talking about this craziness that is this really, really crazy toxic story that's about the Bachelor Clayton Eckhart, I think is his name, and he is gotten basically this chick came out and said all this shit about how he knocked her up with twins and all this stuff, and apparently she's faked the pregnancy. It's a whole
Oh
fucking rabbit
God.
hole of a story. So we're going to be covering that. And we're going to be talking about the crazy women, hoes be crazy. And we're going to be talking about that. So come to Breaking the Narrative at 10 p.m. Eastern.
I don't
Catch it there.
understand people that fake pregnancies.
This story is wild, Chrissy. You might have to talk about this
Okay.
on Simcast or something. It's
I
crazy.
can't wait. I can't wait to watch. Cool. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you on Elijah Schaefer's stream at 10 p.m. Bye.
Bye.